Hello again, Grade 2. It's Mr. Bedford here, and today we're going to do some more science work together. Today I'm going to walk you through something called seed dispersal. Can you see the picture of all of the different seeds in front of you? We've got big seeds, small seeds, long seeds, very light seeds. They come in all different shapes and sizes. But before we look at something new, let's see if we can remember all about plants in our work from the last 2 weeks. You're going to need a pencil and a piece of paper for this because we're going to take a little quiz. Okay, there's our diagram of the plant that we have labelled. You've all done a very good job at labelling your plants, but I want to see if you can remember what the different jobs are. We have 3 questions here, and they are multiple choice. So all you need to do is write down the answer A, B, C, or D. Question 1. What does the flower do? Does it A, take the sun, B, produce seeds, C, drink water, or D, take nutrients? Write down your answer on a piece of paper. Question 2. What do leaves do? Do they A, take the sun, B, produce seeds, C, drink water, or D, take nutrients? Again, write your answer on a piece of paper. Question 3. What do roots do? Again, do they take the sun? Do they B, produce seeds, C, drink water, or D, take nutrients? We're going to check the answers for this at the end of this class. Good luck! Okay, so there's our picture of all of those lovely seeds again. But what does seed dispersal mean? Well, from our last class, we all know that seeds come from plants and they have to be put into the soil where they receive water and sunlight to help them grow. But dispersal is a funny word. I wonder if you can guess what it means. Well, if seeds come from the flower and get scattered into the ground, that helps them grow new plants. And that's exactly what dispersal is. Can you see the seeds here dropping out of the plant? Well, they're falling into the soil to grow new plants around them. Seed dispersal is when the seeds are taken from a plant and moved somewhere else for new plants to grow. Now, there are different ways that this happens. Can you see the bird taking the seeds? Here we've got seeds falling from a plant. That's because there are a few different ways of how this process happens. Today, we're going to have a look at how it's done. The first way is called wind dispersal. Now, the air moves around all of the time in the form of wind. That makes plants and trees blow all around. Can you see in the picture that all of the leaves and the seeds from these trees are blowing into the playground? Well, some seeds are blown through the air by the wind, and they land somewhere else around them into the soil to grow a new plant. Here are some different examples of this. Here we have pepper pots over here. These ones are called pepper pots because of their shape. They're like a pot because they have an opening and a round base. When these plants get dried out, the seeds that are inside get rattled around and then they blow out into the wind. These ones are called parachutes, and that's because of their long, thin, feathery hairs. These help them to fly very far through the air in the wind. Over here we have spinners, and they're called this because of these very long wings that they have. When the seeds dry out, They fall out of the trees and they spin around like a windmill or a helicopter, and they get carried very far away into the wind from its parent plant. Now, wind dispersal is most common for smaller or much lighter seeds, like the ones that you can see in front of you. The next example is water dispersal. Now, in this picture over here, you can see there are lots and lots of plants that grow next to this river. Now, the plants, they do produce seeds, just like all plants, and they fall into the river and they get washed away by streams and rivers. But how do you think the seeds eventually begin growing again? Well, like in this diagram, we can see that the water is flowing down. Now, next to the banks of the water is lots of soil. The seeds are distributed into this soil and they grow new big bushy plants next to the river or the stream. What's that sound? It sounds like popping popcorn. Well, this is because some plants distribute their seeds by violently popping them out, just like cooking popcorn. This way, they fall well away from the plant. Here you can see a picture of a gauze plant. This is a close-up of that plant. Well, inside these flowers are lots of seeds. Eventually, those flowers start to dry up and they pop open, like we can see in this picture here. They then pop out all of those seeds or burst them into the ground around those plants and grow lots and lots of new bushy plants around it. The next example is animal dispersal. That means that animals and even humans carry these seeds. Now we have three different examples of this. The first one are seeds that have hooks on their fruits and their seeds, like the one that you can see here. Can you see the long, sharp hooks that can attach themselves? Well, these get attached onto the fur of mammals, or feathers of birds, or even onto human clothes, and then they get carried around. That's because they have these, can you see here, lots of sharp, long spines. These seeds are normally found in dense forest areas, so be careful not to step on them. The next animal dispersal uses what we can see here are fruits and grains. Delicious fruits and grains. What do we do with these? Well, that's right. Animals and humans eat these. These then go through the digestive system and get dropped into other places, and they can grow new plants with their seeds. The fruits are eaten, and then their seeds are dispersed. The grains are eaten, and then their seeds are dispersed. But also some birds and animals can pick these fruits and pick these grains, and they carry them a long way in their beaks. But sometimes they drop them, which means that the seeds can then be planted back into the soil and grow naturally again. The third example, well, to me this looks a little bit like a stone or a rock, not really a seed. Well, that's because it's a hard, strong nut. Now, usually if these are eaten or chewed, these seeds are destroyed. But some small animals, such as squirrels, they will try and gather these seeds and they will take them to their nests to eat later. Sometimes they gather them in the autumn or the fall and they take them to their nests so that they've got lots of food to eat in the cold winter months. But sometimes they forget where they've planted these. So these seeds will go back into the soil and they will germinate. Can you see this word here? Germinate. We looked at this last week and I said we're going to come across this again. Well, we have. Now, germinate is the process I showed you in the last video. That's where the seed gets planted into the soil. It receives water and it receives sunlight for its energy. This is when that seed begins to grow roots, like we saw in the last video. Well, this is germination. Sometimes birds also pick up these. They carry them in long distances, just like we saw with the fruits and the grains, and sometimes they also get dropped. This means that those seeds can go back into the soil and again germinate. Okay, so here are all of our lovely seeds again. Let's have a quick recap, shall we? So what was this dispersal process called? That's right, wind dispersal. That's where the seeds are blown away from their plant by the wind to grow a new plant somewhere else. What was this one called? That's right, water dispersal. That's where the seeds grow near water and drop their seeds into the water, and they get washed to another place. This one was tricky, but it had a great sound. What was this one called? That's right, burst dispersal. These plants make their seeds explode out of them like popcorn, and they grow a new plant somewhere else near it. Here we have the final 3 different ways. Does anyone remember this name? It's animal dispersal, that's right. These seeds have tiny hooks on them, and these get stuck into animals' fur or feathers. Some get eaten by animals, and they have their seeds dropped in a new place. Some are hard seeds, and they get stored by animals like hamsters, and that's where they grow their new plants. Okay, so today we have some new homework for you. And I'd like you to use this video that I've just shown you to tell me how each of these different seeds in the different pictures next to you are dispersed. I've used the same pictures. Now, firstly, I would like you to circle whether it's wind dispersal, water dispersal, animal dispersal, or burst dispersal. Then underneath, write just a very simple little sentence trying to tell me how you think they are dispersed. Again, go back and have a look at this video a second time, and that will help you with this homework. Good luck, guys. I can't wait to see it. Okay, it's time for the answers for our quiz. Are you ready? So, what does the flower of a plant do? Of course, B, it produces seeds. What do leaves do? Of course, the answer was A, take the sun. That gives the plant energy to grow and be very strong. Finally, what do roots do? That's right. The answer was D, take nutrients. That takes up all of the nutrients and the water from the soil, and it helps to grow that plant into a nice, strong plant. So, how did you get on? I'm sure you did really, really well. Thanks, guys, for working so hard over these past few weeks. I've loved receiving all of your work every single day, and I hope that all of the feedback has been useful for you. Keep trying hard, and remember, stay healthy. See you soon. Bye.